Welcome to the fifth episode of the First Gen Sisters podcast, where we dive into the Jingle Bars in Northeast, where the waitress fails and the owner prevails. We'll also share a special blend of funny family memories, meaningful que sera moments, and happy hours that keep us laughing, sipping, and rating some bars.
The First Gen Sisters podcast, where the wine flows and the tea spills. Cheers.
Cheers. I want to share a beautiful tradition that grew out of our family's journey with our mom's dementia. Betty lived with dementia for probably the last 5 years of her life, and we would visit her. And even on days when she couldn't remember our names, she could still sing every word of Que Sera. We would play the Irish music or Que Sera for her every time we came to visit. And that song seemed to reach her through the fog, even though she didn't know who we were or where she was. She would start singing that. And I know that music has a really strong impact on people with dementia. And that would bring her back to us, even if for just a moment. So with that inspired our Que Sera bracelets. We started making these beaded bracelets with a cross, which were symbols of healing and a connection to her and to the world.
What started as a coping mechanism turned into something much bigger. These bracelets turned into conversation starters. All us sisters would wear these bracelets, 3, 4, 5 on our wrist everywhere we go. If anybody commented on it, or even if someone seemed sad, we would take a bracelet off our wrist and say, life is messy, but God's got you. That started so many conversations. People would tear up and start saying, I really needed that today. And strangers became friends, and it was really incredible.
Part one of our podcast is honoring these que sera moments. I think Maria had a great story that she wanted to share of a que sera moment. Maria, do you want to start on your story?
Sure. My mother-in-law went into hospice care in early December, and we were all sitting around one day, and she was actually having a really good day. My daughters had flown in to visit her, and most of the family was there, and we were sitting around, and she was working on a puzzle, and this woman came to the door, knocked on the door, and she had a guitar on her back, and she said, I'm from music therapy. Would you like me to come and sing some songs? And so we were like, sure. My father-in-law is a barbershop singer. My sister-in-law sings great. My daughter sings. We started out with, I think we sang Edelweiss, which was really touching. And then we did some John Denver songs. And then I asked her, I said, do you know Que Sera? And she said, yeah, I do. And so we all sat around and sang Que Sera. There wasn't a dry eye. And my mother-in-law couldn't really participate, but I looked down and she was tapping her foot at the same time to the music.
That gives me goosebumps.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
music brings you back. And anyway, we were all finished and she was packing up and I came up to her and I gave her a bracelet and I said, thank you so much for doing this for our family. It was really meaningful. We videotaped it. It's just a really great memory. And I told her, you must know this a lot because you visit hospice places and hospitals and things like that. I said, life is messy, but God's got you. And she just looked at me and she didn't really know what to say for a second. And she just said, thank you so much. That's just so nice. You don't get a lot of stuff back, I think, when she does that. So anyway, that was really cool.
Awesome que sera moment. And it's a little personal, but I also think Eileen, we did go to her funeral later in December and music came back and it was just beautiful. Her husband is part of a barbershop quartet and they came out and finished the lunch and the whole day with singing. And it just brought everyone so much joy.
They were so incredible.
They were so good. I had never heard them sing before.
Oh, yeah.
I knew they were good, but they were amazing.
It was beautiful. Moving on, we're going to start talking about our happy hour discovery because it's all about the podcast. So our latest find was EarlGiles in Northeast Minneapolis. And Nikki alluded to a waitress fail and an owner prevail. So we're going to talk a little bit in detail about a little disappointment when we first got there while we were being served, to the owner coming over and chatting with us and making things right. And knowing they had some temporary staff there covering the Jingle Bar because they have more people there than usual during the Jingle Bar service in December. I've been to EarlGiles before and always had a great experience.
Yeah, and he just popped by our table. It wasn't like we went out to look for him. He just popped by and he's like, hey, how's it going?
Should we start with the pour score rating system and then we'll get to
Sure.
the waitress mishap?
Right.
Let's do it.
Go, Maureen.
Yeah, so our first category is the bar stool breakdown. And I have a funny story about that because Dee Dee got there first and the rest of us were kind of running a little late. And
Per use.
yeah, and she said, don't worry, I've got a table. I'm sitting down. We walk in and she's sitting not too far from the entryway
The
on some
lobby.
low chairs
And
with a low
loungy.
table. And I go, oh, are they going to seat us? And she said, this is our seating. It was more like a low table with
Coffee
couches
table.
and chairs around, which
Comfy,
was
though.
fine. No big deal. But as far as the interior design, wow.
Wow. The lights, the Christmas lights where they had them hanging from the
Yeah.
ceiling. They were just amazing.
Yeah, we have some pictures and some video that we took, and they really knocked it out of the park for their Jingle Bar.
Yeah. And if
decoration.
you've ever been to any of these cool warehousey bars that have popped up, and this is in Northeast, it used to be, I think, Northrop King or something like that. They have high ceilings and that kind of vibe. And they just really had,
The Jingle Ball theme going.
they
yeah.
really had it going.
And they had really fun drinks. I
So-
had a reindeer Moscow
Yeah,
Mule.
for the scene
and-
and sip.
Yeah,
Nikki.
they had a
Yeah.
really cute happy hour menu and fun Christmas drinks, and they really got into the Christmas and holiday.
So
theme.
you're giving them 2 points on the scene and sip. So Barstool breakdown, each category gets 2 points. So it's interior, scene and sip, sports scene, the girls' room, and then the tab recap. So Nikki, I think you really liked your drinks.
I think all the drinks were really good. I honestly cannot remember what I had.
I had
but
like their
Rudolph the Red-Nosed
what did I
Reindeer
have?
or
Did I have a
something.
gin?
Like a cherry on
Okay.
top.
And I got
Cute.
something with tequila, and it was very good.
No, I don't think
It was a
no.
specialty drink.
The next section is sports scene. It was Christmas, and
Not
I
for
didn't
Jingle
see any
Bars.
TVs around there.
And I don't think in general it's more of a warehouse type.
And it's
but-
also like a big distillery type of
yeah, it's all about
bar.
it's all about the drinks there. It's
Yeah.
not really a sports
Mhm.
scene.
Yeah.
At all.
And girls' room. Sorry.
Put on your tennis shoes and walk 5 miles.
Yeah, it's a long ways. Because it's in an old warehouse building, I think they share that bathroom
With
with
all the
other
offices
businesses
and
and things
everything.
like that. It's a hike. So
It's not a big deal, but
No.
if you don't understand it right away, it's not straightforward where you have to go into like the office area to find
Yeah.
the bathroom, but it's
It
fine.
was
And
clean. It was fine.
Yeah.
Just a regular
So,
office building.
before we do the tab recap, we need to talk a little bit about the service and
Okay.
what happened.
I ordered a gluten-free pizza, breakfast pizza. You guys had a regular
Yeah, and you were going to
pizza.
split that with Nikki.
Yeah, and we're like,
when
hey,
I
and the
ordered
waitress was
ours.
like, all right, fine. Our drinks were empty. She wasn't filling them. We're starting to feel like, oh,
We
we're
were-
just kind
and
of
we were
lost here.
hungry.
Yeah, because it was noon.
There
or
was
whatever.
no eye contact.
Yeah, she was.
No.
We're like, hello.
So our food came. Noelle's
the
and my
non-gluten-free
food came.
pizza came, and
You don't want to sit there for so long. We're trying to be polite
so
and
me and Nikki are like, go ahead and eat while it's
yeah.
It was literally 20, 25 minutes till we got our pizza.
And I think we were almost done with it.
Yeah.
It was just
And
kind of weird. Just
didn't
going
come by and ask if everything was
Mm-hmm.
okay, but instead, all of a sudden, do you want any more drinks? Kind of like that.
Yeah.
Not, oh,
Yeah,
you
she
know.
wanted us to skedaddle, but she was new because most waitresses come back and say, how's everything tasting? Can I get you something else? And it was just, she brought her drinks. That was check. She brought the pizza, check. And then she wanted us out of there. That's what it
Well,
felt like.
then the second pizza took 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And there
So I think,
was-
and I think the owner cruises around as owners should or GMs should and check and see how things are going. And he stopped by our table and said, oh, how was everything? And we said,
And of course, we had our
"Actually,
T-shirts on. So.
yeah, we said, we're here to review this Jingle Bar, and we really have not had the best service, and the food was slow, and I don't know, we're
then
not
he was
having a
like-
stellar experience.
and he was so sweet. He was.
His name was Earl.
It was. He goes,
Yeah.
I'm Earl.
Hi,
I was like,
Earl.
Earl had to die. But he's. Oh, I wish she would have told you that we bring the food out so it's super hot. That's
As it's ready, yeah.
As it's ready. And had we known that, we would have been totally fine.
Or if she
Just-
could have said, hey, gluten-free takes a while.
But then
he admitted
did
that.
kind of. But then he did say that it was a pop-up thing. They had a bunch of temporary staff.
Yep.
I don't think she
Maybe it wasn't one of his regulars.
And he said he would definitely talk to staff and make sure they're the new
So we
staff's
ended up
it.
on a good note. But
Oh,
then
yeah.
he
And
gave
then,
us
yeah,
some-
then he said, "Oh, I'll be right back." And then he comes back and he gave us each a $25 gift card, which he didn't need to do. I think his
No.
apology was enough, but
Because the food was really
appreciated it.
good.
The
Yeah, I
family
mean,
drinks
And
were
we'll
really good.
definitely be back.
we told
Yeah.
him everything was great. It was just a weird kind of service.
yeah, it
effect,
wasn't
so-
like this is the holiday season. You want to go
Yeah.
out and have this nice brunch, regardless of the fact whether you're doing a podcast or not. You want to have a good service.
Right.
And even if we weren't, we would have probably told him anyway, even if we weren't reviewing them. But
But-
he made it right. And he said, I
So
really
sweet.
want you to come back and give us another chance.
Yeah, he
So
was
we
nice.
will.
Yeah.
So then we're just going to do a quick stop. We
Well,
did
the
we-
tap room recap or the tap recap. So we did have the specialty drinks and we had pizzas, and it really wasn't that expensive.
No, it wasn't. I thought the tap recap was good, pretty good. It was very
Yeah.
reasonable.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I don't know. What do you guys think about? Is it too premature to give them a
I think
sister
it's
stamp?
premature. Let's wait for the
Yeah.
sister
Yeah.
stamp. We'll go back.
Yeah, I think we should
and-
go back.
Yeah, we'll
When
go
the
back and
chance-
rescore them.
Yeah, for sure.
So then we left there and we got into the car, which we probably should have just walked, but
It was
we
like-
called
It
them.
Close.
was really cool.
So then Nikki was driving all four of us, and she kept trying to park, and then every spot was too small, and she kept going back and forth, and then
Not a very good parallel parker.
I was whipping around.
and then we finally found a spot, and we had to get out in the snowbank.
Yeah.
but we were laughing.
It
Like,
was
get
called-
out.
Was it Binas? Is
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
So
bar?
it's just
Yeah.
down the alley, basically, in a little
It's kind of a
place.
tiki bar, but it was
It is.
decked
It
out.
is a tiki bar.
It was adorable.
Yeah.
but
Really expensive for what you got. I thought.
really expensive.
Yeah.
We
All-
won't do a full pour score, but we'll just
Yeah.
give a
Plus,
the open.
I don't know if I'm just old school, but I hate doing that QR thing and ordering your drinks.
yeah.
And
Finally, I had to just go up to the bar
They-
because
yeah,
the QR
it
code
was
thing
like-
wasn't working.
Because
They did
she
have,
put a
like-
credit card in, it wouldn't take it. Then you
I
put
know,
another
it was a
credit
whole
card in.
thing.
It was a
We're
whole
too old.
thing. We're like, but the bathrooms were amazing. They
So-
were completely decked out.
They had decorations hanging all over the ceiling.
Yeah.
Talk
It's like-
about decked out for Christmas. It
Yeah.
was
And the
100%.
vibe was like locals that were like too cool for school though. Like
major
they-
regulars.
Oh my god, the outfits and the moon boots and the I
I
know.
didn't tell you, Chuck
It was
bought me moon
quirky.
boots for Christmas.
Oh my God. You have to wear them.
But
next
I mean-
time.
we were what?
But
Yes,
I
I know,
mean,
and I was ragging on
A
us.
gal with purple hair with her silver moon boots, and they were all like working it.
They
You'll
were
have
all,
to
they knew
do
each
the-
other.
What's the guy with the dance? The movie.
Oh, Napoleon
Yeah.
Dynamite. Yeah, they were dynamite
Yeah.
moon
Dynamite.
boots.
yeah, but they
for
thought
sure.
they were like too cool for school,
Yeah.
like Napoleon
yeah,
Dynamite.
we didn't really fit in there, but
No.
it was really cute. The menus were hysterical.
Yeah.
We didn't eat any food though, did we? We just
No,
drank.
The
I can't
drinks
imagine
were-
how long that
were
would have taken.
No.
It took
specialty,
forever to
so
get
We
They're
had
really
we had a
cute.
very sweet tiki bar.
Yeah, mine was blue something. I
Did
can't
they have
remember.
a funny Santa or Elvis or something on
They
the
had
wall? Yeah.
it was there. It was decked out amazing. Like they had like their bathroom. We'll show pictures online. They had the Christmas tree that was like upside down.
Yeah.
They had some really cool Christmas vibes, and then they had Elvis posters. They had really cool
They
memorabilia.
had
on
like
their
old
walls.
fashioned like decorations
Yeah.
that we had from when we were
Yeah, it was
kids.
pretty cool.
Yeah, I loved it.
but a little overpriced, a little sweet, a little
It's for
neighborhood
drinks, I think.
vibey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's just for a quick drink. It's not
Yeah.
somewhere you're going to spend the evening.
You go from EarlGiles, which is, I would say it's bougie and fancy,
Yeah.
to Binas, which is, it reminded me a lot of Psycho Susie's. We
Yeah.
had the tiki
It's like
bar.
a millennial vibe.
Totally
Yeah,
millennial. vibe.
yeah.
yeah.
But there were some old folks at the bar too. So
Yeah.
I know.
And then we
Some
did
gals and
we
guys.
did a photo shoot.
Oh, well, then we cruised. So I, with my driving skills, I cruised over to, we went to Stanley's because right next door
Across
was
the street.
across the street from Stanley's was our very first homestead when our parents came to this
All of us
country.
lived there, Nikki, except you.
Yep.
Yep.
And so that's why I took the picture. And it was so cold out that day. So we
We
have
walked right up to the steps. We're like, hope someone.
I know, we're like
hopefully
the
that's
trim or
duplex.
something.
green door.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we took a
stucco.
picture in front of the homestead that we'll put on our
Website,
Our
too.
Yeah.
website, but,
But
it was
Stanley's really wasn't decked out for the Jingle Bar, but we
No,
just
our
stopped in there for
service was
wondering.
So good there.
Yeah. We had coffee and Bailey's, didn't we?
Yeah,
we were
Hot
cool.
toddies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the staff there is really attentive.
I love it there. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
They own Duke's and some other places.
So we'll score it up. So I think all in all, we're just gonna give EarlGiles another chance.
Yeah.
We're not
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
score Binas, and we're not gonna score Stanley.
Yeah.
So,
So no,
but it
no,
was a fun day, just bar hopping around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
no sister
And
stamps.
then
It was a fun afternoon.
we also did Red Cow. as far as
Oh,
like a
that's-
jingle bar.
Oh my
goes.
God, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Okay, we did that on a different night, and I have a super funny story about that. I got
Red
there
Cow and
first.
Wyzetta.
Yeah, Red Cow and Wyzetta, and they called that was really frosty and decorated.
And it was my
really
birthday, and
cool.
we forgot to
So,
tell her.
yeah.
We never
Yeah,
got
yeah,
Okay.
Dee Dee's
She
birthday.
just didn't buy me dinner.
We
It
did give
wasn't
you
your
presents.
birthday day. It wasn't your actual birthday day.
Yeah,
was like your birthday.
It wasn't your actual birthday.
Oh,
No,
regardless.
no.
We forgot to tell her. We didn't even
I
get
know.
to do
Yeah.
anything.
But anyway, I was the first one there, got a table. We really wanted to go early because that place is small and it gets packed. And so I'm looking at the menu and there's all these cute drinks. So I ordered this apple cider, bourbon, whatever. And she goes, "Can I see your ID?" Or no, she said, "Can I have your ID?" And I'm like, "What? Number one, really? You want to see my ID?" And she goes, "Oh, it's for the cup." And I go, "What?"
It was the moose one.
Yeah, so
Christmas
she
vacation when
goes,
they drink the egg.
yeah, because some people have been stealing a cup, the cups. And I looked at her like, "Really? Do I look like I'm going to steal your cup?" They bring out my drink and it's in the moose cup from Christmas Vacation. And I'm
awesome.
sitting there by
By
myself drinking out of a moose cup. And I don't think we're going to rate them either, sister stamp them.
But we had really good
I-
stuff.
can rate them.
I'd give them an 8.
I would too. I'd give them an 8 because we've been there so often that
True, but it was really
their
it was
happy hour
super
prices are
decked out.
great.
If you're gonna next year, if you're gonna do in like you're gonna western suburbs, highly recommend
Story
Zeta.
too, because
And how about the
yeah,
snow
I was going to
globe?
say, Dee Dee and I were, who was there with me first?
Me.
And I go,
the s-
"Oh,
the snow
everybody
globes.
has a snow globe on their table last
Snow
night."
globe.
So the waitress comes over and I go, "Can we get that snow globe on our table?" It was in the way the whole
It was so
time.
big.
We need, as
Snow-
soon as that booth clears out, I'm putting the snow globe back because it was in the way of all our stuff.
God, you're
But-
like so high maintenance.
I know. I know. It's like you always want what you can't have. Then you don't want it when you
But
get
I
it.
mean, I would definitely give Red Cow a sister stamp.
Oh, yeah,
Go there
always.
Quite often.
Yeah.
As far as jingle bars go, it was cute.
I'm glad we got there early as we were leaving.
Packed.
There was a line out the
Yeah,
door.
their happy hour prices are so good. They
are.
And they had like their chips and their
They're
French onion.
homemade
dip.
chips and their
Gluten-free bar.
truffle fries for Dee Dee.
I think I might have gotten a Guinness.
Not.
I think I might have gotten a Guinness that night too. Okay, where are we now, guys?
Okay, so funny family stories. We're a big, crazy European family, first generation American. We always had the craziest stories. And because this is our Christmas Jingle Bar episode, we wanted to share some funny Christmas stories with you guys. 7 kids, and then we combined with our Polish relatives. So it was a big Polish family, midnight mass, etc. So I'm going to hand it over to who's going to take it over.
I am.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, I'll go first.
I'm going to tell a funny family story. Also, I'll just insert that I hosted Christmas Eve this year, and we had 37 people.
I
in
did
my-
last year.
In my,
I did it in 2018 and
Maria
I
did
had
it
injection.
once.
I never
Never
did
will
it.
do
Talk
it
again.
about when Maria did
What
it. I've
else is
probably
that
done
one?
it 20 plus times. But long story short is I did it at our new place, and we made an Irish pub in our basement. But towards the end of the night, it got wild. I was like, people need to go home. It was 1:30 in the morning. Our
You said, why is everybody leaving? It's 1:30.
No, all left at the same time. When they were at my house, they stayed till 3 in the morning. I
Let's
was
just
like,
say there was a lot of Di Serrano still.
One of the kids was making, not kids, she's over 21, but was
She's still the
making
kids.
Christmas Moscow mules. So that was
Oh, yeah, yeah.
There's a lot of
our
stickiness.
festive, our festive
it was
drink.
fun.
And then we had some Di Serrano after dinner drinks.
Some.
But we have lots of stories from
Yes.
past Christmases past.
But I'm going to talk a little bit about a good friend of mine was selling, this is back in the 80s, a line of naughty underwear called Undercover Wear. They might still have it. And my mom thought it was hilarious when my friend, she always would pop in, the tea kettle would always be going, and she was telling my mom about these underwear. My mom's like, "Give me that." And she like bought a pair of these breakaway underwear for my dad. And just for a joke. And my dad he could be funny, but he never thought he was funny.
They were black and they were like mesh, maybe.
Yeah, something like that. So it was so funny. We have
Nice.
this memory of dad just opening up this thing. He had no idea what it was. And then my mom was trying to explain it to him, and then he was holding it up over his face. And
They
he
were
was-
breakaway underwear. They
and
had
he
Velcro.
was just laughing his head off. I was going through old photos like this past, like right before Christmas, and I found the picture of dad holding the underwear up and mom grabbing her nose. When she would laugh really hard, she would grab her nose and just howling, and my brother Paul looking at them like,
Well, and then
what is
opening it in front
happening?
of all of us.
Yes,
Like,
we were all
we're
young
like-
adults. We were all young adults at the time, so I thought it was hilarious because I knew what was going on. But anyway, that was just a really fun Christmas memory.
I
And
think Dad got the Nutcracker
That
that
I gave him
Christmas
the
too.
Nutcracker, and
And then he goes to
so
Mom.
It wasn't like the Nutcracker, like a Christmas Nutcracker. It was like an
Walnut.
industrial one because
Yeah.
he loved walnuts. And then we said, Dad, it's a Nutcracker. He said, what? I crack my nut.
again, he didn't think he was
Because Mom grabbed her nose like she.
And then we all started laughing. And I also have a picture of him holding up the Nutcracker.
So we're gonna have to post those on the podcast,
Yeah.
so you can crack his
on
nut.
social. Yeah, we'll post
And-
those.
To follow the dirty thing, and Maria's got another
Yeah.
story.
So our mom, after our dad passed away, our mom loved to shop, and that was one of her
TV
jobs,
late night.
basically. And she loved going to craft fairs and what do they call them? Those thrift stores and stuff like that. And she always had a theme going, and she would buy all the brother-in-laws and the boys in the family the same gift. And they were all given the gift this one year, and they all opened them at the same time. And they all had a look of, first of all, they didn't know if they should laugh or cry or what, because what she bought them was a holder that goes over a pan, a frying pan, the handle so that you don't burn your hand. But they thought it looked like a dick warmer. And then when she heard that, because that hadn't even registered in our mom's mind, when they told her that, she just
They were
died.
like, Benny, what do I do?
What do I do with this?
And then she grabbed her nose, of course.
Yeah, and that was hysterical. And Nikki's going to take a picture because I still have mine too.
For sure.
Yeah.
And then just to add on to that, we'd always go to midnight mass, and some of us would play instruments at Holy Cross, and we'd have to go to midnight mass. And when you go there, sometimes we were in the balcony, but then sometimes we would be in like the main section, but everybody smelled like Polish food and
And alcohol.
alcohol. And
Karkowska.
I was like 8 or 9 when I started.
You're tired anyway.
Super tired. Everybody
It was
smelled.
Yeah.
It was hot, and we had our winter jackets on, and never failed. Every year I fainted. And this one
Just
year,
slide
there was
underneath the
this-
pew.
There was this one boy that was like 2 or 3 rows up from me, and I'm like, oh my God, look at that guy. Look at that guy. He's going to faint. And then his face turned like all different colors. He was. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going down. I'm going down. And next thing I know, my dad is lifting me up off the floor. We all fell like dominoes because once one of us faints, it's like
Yeah.
And I'm
honor.
not anymore. But
I'm
as
not
kids, we
anymore
did.
either, but yeah.
I'm still a fainter. If I see
Yeah.
we would faint. And so I think at some point we stopped going to midnight mass, but we had to go every year, and it was like torture.
Partly it was because our cousin played the organ, and then 2 of us played our flutes in the orchestra for the evening mass. So
It was a tradition.
It was.
and-
Finally, Polish
That
mass.
was a tradition until our passed away. So we probably did it until about 1984.
Yeah.
And then we kind of quit going to midnight
well, then we
mass.
were in college
It's
then.
no
Some
way.
of us were.
Right, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I was probably like in 6th grade. I'm like, everybody reeks like Polish sausage and sauerkraut and booze. I'm
Or as
like,
we would say, kapusta.
yeah. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm going down.
All right. So closing thoughts for the week.
Case.
Sarah, you had your
Oh,
great
that was a great que sera story. We have lots of them, but I just loved that whole thing with the music therapy.
But what I'd love to say, Maria, is que sera Eileen. She was a wonderful woman.
Que sera
We
Yeah.
should
Eileen.
dedicate this episode to Eileen. Yeah.
She was a sweet woman. And then closing
No poor scores to this time. But
we gave Red Cow a
yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
That's
And then
true.
we're going to go back to Earl
Yeah.
Giles and give them another shot. And I think it's going to be just fine.
And sorry, all our family stories all had a little bit of a dirty turn.
Well, it's Christmas.
It
what the
is
heck?
what it is.
But
It is what it is.
Always sausage and booze.
yeah, and
know.
you know what? Not much has changed since I hosted this year. We still insist on having the Polish. We get a lot of our Polish food from Kramarczuk's in Northeast. Dee Dee made
I brought the
kapusta. Tori, our sister-in-law,
Yeah.
she made what's called guomkis, which is basically a cabbage rolls. And we make, and our son and my daughters and our also Tori, they make the pierogies ahead of time, and then my son fries them all up and That's the appetizer. We still have a lot of the same traditions.
We're still passing
And
it
we
down.
still have so much fun and laugh over all the funny presents that we give and that sort of thing. Our parents definitely passed on the Christmas traditions
Yes.
to us.
Definitely. Christmas is
The
a big
Pol-
thing.
And it's
Yeah.
very much a Polish Christmas,
Yeah.
not Irish as much as some of our other things that we do, but our Christmas is always very Polish.
And we're very hesitant to let that big family thing go
And our
because
kids
we
love
keep,
it.
Our
yeah,
kids,
we keep adding.
score, that's fine with
and
me.
We got the babies now. I've
Yeah.
got 3 grandkids, and 2 out of 3 of them were there. One of them was sick, but now we're adding the little ones
Yeah,
to
and
it.
the kids are all getting married now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Olga has a wedding in 2026. I have one in 2027. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a lot of stuff going on that we're going to be talking
No,
about.
just want to give me the babies.
Yeah.
I got the 3 babies. You guys can. You
I
guys
want some
can
babies
some
next.
babies.
So I want to be a grandma.
I'm fine as a great aunt right now.
So just remember, at the end of the day, life's messiness also leads to the most touching moments. Family can be funny, it can be goofy. And then sometimes we do have some of those moments where we get to share something with a stranger, like our que sera bracelets. So we'll keep being weird, we'll keep laughing, and let's all stay connected.
Until next time, follow us on YouTube, iTunes, iHeart, Amazon, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And number 2, visit our website store to purchase your own que sera bracelets. It's quesera.com. So you can share meaningful connections and brighten someone's day. As Dee Dee would say, www.quesera.com.
Yeah.
Make a memorable connection. I have a great que sera story for next time. Tell us what you want to hear and tell us where you want us to go next. So we may highlight it on the next episode.
And signing off from somewhere in the West Metro, this is Maria.
Dee Dee.
Nikki,
Noelle.
where the wine flows and the tea spills.
Cheers.